When you see
Perfect.
Islam Makhachev talk about a fight at middleweight against you, what one word comes to mind?
Almost Khabib.
What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion, fighting Sean Strickland in the main event of UFC 312. Even he's not sure what these analysts are talking about when they break down the nuances of his inside and outside footwork, but damn is his style effective. Dricus du Plessis, how's it going, my man?
Absolutely great. What an introduction.
Yeah, well, one of my most viewed YouTube shorts is you being like, I have no idea what any of these people are talking about when they break down my style, but it works, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they see it.
Hey, no mustache this time. I like the look. Why aren't we following
I
up?
saw Strickland attempting a mustache, but he just looked like a nah. Jeez, man, it's terrible. I hope he dies it. But yeah, I mean, I'll let him have that one. He needs it. I know he likes to, you know, wear props to entertain the crowd. So I'll let him have the mustache this time.
Okay, we'll trade back and forth. I think that's fair. I saw a recent interview you did, and you do your research, my guy, because you pointed out how Sean has 8 split decision fights, 6 wins, 2 victories. He did take you to a split decision, and it's very weird, right? Because I'd almost say that like losing to you by split decision right now is more impressive than beating Paulo Costa by split decision, which just goes to show you how sort of awkward Sean Strickland fights play out for the judges. How can you assure that this time the fight is not does not play out in sort of the typical Sean Strickland matter where you have to worry about the judges having to make a decision one way or the other?
Yeah, I think the most important part is not the feeling out process was done. I think that's going to make a big difference. You know, being able to push the fight early on, knowing that I have the 5 rounds full speed in me. You know, I showed that in the first fight. In my last fight with Adesanya, I showed in that 4th round, I still have that finishing ability. And I still felt relatively good after that 4th round. It was the end of the fourth with Adesanya as well. Well, the second half of the 4th round. You know, that shows the pace in that fight was something crazy. So it was great. I mean, I know I can do it. So, you know, and I'm not fighting for my first time fighting for a world title. So it's different. And you know, he knows what I bring. I know to a certain extent, and I know to a certain extent what he brings to the table. So I think the feeling out process is going to be a lot shorter, maybe a minute, maybe 2, and then it's going to be a full-on fight, like we saw from I would say, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round in our first fight. And you know, when you fight, if you initiate that kind of, I mean, we saw the way we looked after that fight. You know, he was all cut up, and my eyes were shut. That was more from the 1st and 2nd round. Then, you know, you rarely see a fight like that going to a judge's decision or split decision. Actually, for me, I don't care if this fight goes to a decision. It just has to be a dominant decision. You know, I'm either going to knock him out, submit him, TKO, or just a dominant performance. If he can, you know, stick it out for 5 rounds of me dominating him wherever this fight goes, then you know I'm happy with a decision like that. I just need to know that I gave my all and that I deserve to win that fight.
You know, we talk a lot about champ versus champ fights, arguably a little too much, but it did pique my curiosity. I'm curious if it piques yours at all. What do you make of the light heavyweight champ Alex Pereira being in the challenger's corner on Saturday?
He was in the corner in the first fight too. I
Was he?
mean, they don't even speak the same language. It doesn't really make it much of a difference whether he's in the
I was,
corner. It's, I mean,
there must be
Strickland
like a bridge
barely
between
understand
them,
his own
right?
coach. He's also American. How's he going to understand Alex Pereira?
How does that work in your? How do you imagine that works?
It doesn't.
Well, not
Doesn't.
based on the first fight, anyways. You're fighting in Australia for the second time. I know this is sort of a risk reward business decision that a lot of fighters have to assess. Did you have any second thoughts about fighting in Australia for the second time with that very steep 45% tax cut that the fighters face?
I hated that you had to mention it again.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It happens. It happens. I mean, what are you going to do? Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to step up and do this fight. It's not the best card, but at the end of the day, we are the main event, and that is something special. There's some great fights on the card, in terms of like big names, not too many, but it's always these cards. Myself and Strickland, obviously. I know, that's entertainment right there. I know that for a fact. The thing is, these cards where people are like, I'm not sure who that guy is, they're always bangers because everybody here is fighting to prove. Everybody on this card, if you are not a big name, and there's a lot of people that are, names, but they're not in that big name category yet. They are all fighting for it, all fighting to be that guy. And that's how it's going to be a bang of a card. Always is. Always the low-key cards are always where you get the craziest fights. But yeah, I mean, that in terms of that tax break, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? I don't complain about things I can't change. So I go in, beat whoever's in front of me, and pay my taxes.
Okay. Well, a company man, and so I hope that this is rewarded whenever the next fight comes up. Hopefully South Africa or stateside.
Can I tell you this? One thing that was a much bigger problem than the actual tax was, as a Christian man, and I've had last year, myself and Strickland fought on the 20th of January. So I had no Christmas, no holidays with the family after spending a whole year just fighting. And I really commit myself to my career. So 2 weeks at the end of the year is committed to my family. Really committed to the family over Christmas. So as a Christian, we celebrate Christmas. And then this year again, fighting in Feb. In the middle of your training camp, you can't, really go and spend that time with family. So that was the biggest thing for me. I know, there's a lot of fighters that aren't Christian, that doesn't celebrate the holiday of Christmas. And I just thought that it would make more sense to let them fight on the January and February cards. And, that was the one thing where I was a little bit like, now I have to do this again. This is the second year in a row. And with that, my team, everybody going, listen, we are going away. The first one is great. Last year, everybody stayed, and had no problem because we're fighting for a world title. Now everybody has priorities with families too. And now everybody had to cancel plans with families to stay and train. And I felt that was a little bit asking a lot from your teammates and coaches and everybody. So that was one thing where I felt kind of there's got to be some changes around that. So
ideally, maybe we fight again in like the fall, let's say, so that you can have your holiday calendar cleared.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind fighting December's. I don't mind fighting earlier because the last pay-per-view is always early in the first 2 weeks of December, which is no problem for me. Just maybe like anything from like fighting March. March will be perfect for it. Just that first, because especially I'm always 8 weeks. I'm ready to fight, always. But if you're going to take a 2 week break, holiday with family, you can't be 8 weeks out from a fight. At least have 2 weeks to get 100% ready to start a camp, and then 8 weeks. So yeah, I mean that's one thing I'll be asking him from after this fight is, hey, can we maybe get make it from March? Let's fight in March. I'll fight December, it's no problem.
What's your favorite thing about Christmas?
My favorite, just a time with family. It's amazing. Mom's cooking, family, having the whole family together, the kids, my brother's kids, just having everybody there, and the appreciation, and also for me, the hard work during the year, the whole year it's almost neglecting family in the way that I would like to spend time with my family, neglecting friends, family, loved ones, because there's a job to do, and they all understand it. They're all very, very supportive of it, with the goal in mind that that's the time I get to spend with them, full 100% attention, 100% being there, and not thinking about, because when you're spending time at Christmas with family and you have a fight this close, you are there, but you are not fully enjoying. You have to check what you eat. And your mindset is different. It's a different mindset. Me in a fight camp is a completely different person to me and not. Just in terms of being myself as Dricus instead of Dricus the fighter. So yeah, I mean, that is one thing. I mean, that played a bigger role than the tax for me.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing and for being honest. A couple things as we wrap up here. Dana White said that Khamzat Chimaev is probably next for the title, coming off that very impressive win over Robert Whittaker. What is it that you can do to Khamzat that the rest of the division has failed to do so far?
Beat him.
How so?
I can beat Khamzat. I know for a fact Khamzat is shooting. That's a fact. I don't think, just like everybody else, he knows what he's going to feel when he is Khamzat going to be able to take me down? Absolutely. Absolutely, he'll be able to take me down. This is how a fight works. I would hope so. Isn't he like some Swedish champion or something? I would hope he could take me down. But then he has to deal with me on the ground, and he has to keep me there. Can I take Khamzat down? Absolutely. Am I going to take Khamzat down? Absolutely. And then we're entering an area that he doesn't know. He got taken down by Gilbert Burns. He got taken down by Usman. We've seen him being as dominant as anybody can be in the first round. We've seen him being as exhausted as anybody can be in the third round. This is a 5-rounder. Bring your first round. I am going to meet you in the middle, and we are going to wrestle. We can wrestle that first round, the whole first round. And then we come out in that second round, and we'll see what we feel like. And we can wrestle you have around a minute left in that second round, and then we're going to fight my fight. Then we're going to wrestle on my terms, and then we're going to strike on my terms. That's what I think. I think everybody has been moving backwards, trying to evade that takedown. No. I'm not scared of Khamzat wrestling. I'm not evading. I'm not trying to stay off the ground with Khamzat. That's the mistake everybody makes. I'm going to fight Khamzat wherever the fight goes. The same as this fight, the same as any other fight. This is MMA. As soon as you go in your mind and think, I don't want to fight this guy stand up. I don't want to go to the ground with this guy. I mean, look at Izzy. That fight, the obvious way to fight Izzy is, and I knew I could take him down. I'm strong enough, and I knew I had it. And I did take him down. I ultimately finished the fight there, but 90% of that fight was fought stand-up. I only shot 3 times, I think, in that fight, 3 takedowns. One I took him down in the second, and there was some good control there, good work on the cage. The one was a failed takedown attempt, and the other one was when the fight finished. And, because when you fight, I didn't go in there and think, I didn't want to strike with Izzy. People go, you want to stay out of Israel Adesanya's kicking range. I landed a couple of great head kicks. I landed great kicks because that is how a fight works. You can't go in there and think, I'm scared of this. I don't want to fight this guy here. No, of course you have your strengths and his strengths, but you have to go in there and fight somebody. You can't be, because as soon as you think of an area where you don't want this fight to go, you are limiting yourself. You are in a mental space where when you get to that situation, you are losing, in a sense, this fight. And that's what I think people make the mistake with Khamzat. And listen, it's easier said than done. The man is incredibly good, especially in those wrestling grappling exchanges. But you can't go out there fighting him and thinking, I don't want to be there.
Dricus, I got to let you go, but I did have a lot of fan questions about this one. So I'm going to hold you to one word, okay? When you see Islam Makhachev talk about a fight at middleweight against you, what one word comes to mind?
Almost Khabib.
I like it. Dricus, wanted to talk about Springboks and a lot more. We'll have to save it for next time. On the way out, thank you so much for doing this, and I sincerely, truly hope we do not speak again next January, because you deserve that time with your family. Best of luck on your fight, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great to speak to you again, man.